Throughout this offseason, we have heard from the New York Giants during their Hard Knocks season for what they thought about Saquon Barkley leaving the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's hear from the man himself. Why did Saquon Barkley leave the New York Giants to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles in NFL free agency in a move that sent ripple effects through the Giants fan base and organization and caused Eagles fans everywhere to celebrate? Now, let's recap what we talked about last week. And we recapped what transpired during the Hard Knocks season when the New York Giants were featured and everything that they did, draft, free agency, documented in the public eye on Hard Knocks, which I thought was really well done. And obviously, it was the first offseason Hard Knocks. We have seen plenty of Hard Knocks seasons documenting a respective team's preseason and training camp. So HBO doing the offseason Hard Knocks for the first time, New York Giants featured, and there were a lot of dialogues between general manager Joe Schoen and owner John Mara. They had phone conversations with Saquon. They had conversations between the two of them as the leaders of the organization for what they wanted to do with Saquon as he was set to enter NFL free agency. And a couple of takeaways that I had from that season. There was that phone call between Joe Schoen and Saquon where Joe Schoen told Saquon Barkley, we're not going to put the franchise tag on you. We're going to let you hit free agency. We're going to let you see what you can get and test your market. I actually thought that was a fair move by the New York Giants. They didn't want to do the whole franchise tag ordeal. They wanted to allow Saquon, the face of their franchise, to field offers and see if he could get a long-term offer, which would obviously lead to long-term financial stability. And that's exactly what happened with Saquon. He got that great deal from Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles. There was also a conversation between Giants general manager Joe Schoen and owner John Mara where Schoen questioned if another team was going to give Barkley big money. He said, are we sure that a team is going to pay up that much money for Saquon at the running back position? Philadelphia was certainly willing to do that. The Giants not willing to go north of the Eagles' offer. The Giants didn't want to go past $12.5 million per year. And Schoen, after hearing all of these reports of a couple of teams in the mix, asked Saquon's agent specifically if the team that he was going to was going to be inside the NFC East because Joe Schoen wanted to prepare himself mentally. Now they find out that Saquon signs with Philadelphia. John Mara not happy. Joe Schoen did say, we're going to be just fine. I don't think you're going to be just fine because that Giants team, I think they're going to stink up the joint this upcoming season in 2024. Here's also what John Mara, the Giants owner, said about Saquon and the prospects of him going to the Eagles, and Eagles fans will love this. I'll have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia. I'll tell you that. He's the most popular player we have by far. That's the Giants side as a little bit of a recap from what we've discussed here on Eagles Now. What is Saquon's side? Here's his tell-all. Quote, it was over after that phone call, in my opinion, and he's referencing the phone call when Joe Schoen was allowing Saquon to hit free agency. He continued, I never truly felt in my heart they were going to match it or they only wanted me for a lower price. No matter what, I probably wasn't going back. And it's interesting that Saquon said that to Dianna Russini on her podcast with Eagles legend Chase Daniel. I say legend in a sarcastic tone, because you could tell with that phone call airing that Saquon wasn't ecstatic. He's like, all right, yep, I'll come back and let you know, because Joe Schoen was like, are you going to give us a chance to match? Are you going to give us a chance to give you an offer? And Saquon's like, yeah, I'll let you know. It just seemed as though at that moment, that was the breakup. And when there's a breakup in a relationship, oftentimes you do know. But for Giants fans who are complaining about Saquon signing with the division rival Eagles, and they're mad at him, they should be mad at the organization. The New York Giants could have avoided all of this. New York had an opportunity and multiple opportunities to offer Saquon Barkley a contract extension. The Giants instead placed the franchise tag on Saquon after a terrific 2022 season in which he put the team on his back, and that opened up the door for him to leave this offseason, which he ended up doing. And that was a little bit disrespectful. If John Mara thinks that Saquon is the team's most popular player, and he's the face of the organization, which sadly he is as a running back because they don't have a quarterback, then the owner could have stepped in and said, we need this guy paid. We're not signing him to the franchise tag. So the Giants have had all these opportunities to sign Saquon. They had another opportunity this offseason. They could have given Saquon Barkley a contract back several months ago to not let him go to the Philadelphia Eagles and not let him hit the market. I give him credit for not putting the franchise tag on Saquon. That was nice of them to do. But they also could have just given him a contract extension, and Saquon would have probably stayed. With New York, you were always worth what somebody is willing to pay you. The Giants weren't willing to give Saquon Barkley that financial commitment. Howie Roseman was. Jeffrey Lurie signed off in signing that check. So while the Giants showed they didn't want Saquon, the Eagles welcomed him with open arms, and they paid him big-time dollars. Now, Christian McCaffrey has since reset the running back market, as he should have, because last year he led the NFL in touches, more than 2,000 all-purpose yards, top 5 MVP voting, NFL Offensive Player of the Year. But the deal that Saquon got is pretty damn good. A 3-year, $37.75 million contract that's an average annual value of $12.58 million. Surprisingly, this offseason, there were a couple of running backs who got paid some decent coin. Saquon, and a lot of this contract had to do with the Saquon guaranteed money, and that was really good for him. Guaranteed money at signing and total guaranteed money, $26 million. So essentially, it's pretty much a 2-year deal worth $26 million, $13 million per year that the Eagles are giving Saquon. But the magician-like stroke of Howie Roseman on the salary cap is Saquon's 2024 cap hit and base salary. $3.8 million is the cap hit. $1.375 million is the base salary. So if Saquon ends up performing really, really well, and he has the Christian McCaffrey impact on the Eagles offense that McCaffrey had on the Niners offense since the trade, and especially last year, this could end up being a great bargain deal for the Eagles, and it's going to make the Giants look bad with egg on their faces. Before we hop on out of here, Eagles training camp. Almost here. If you're pumped, you're excited, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Go Birds! And make sure you keep it locked here for the best Eagles training camp coverage.